Las Vegas's brand new Filipino Town, officially designated in 2025, is coming up on its 1-year anniversary. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, we're talking to Ava Cariño, event coordinator and research assistant at Filipino Food History Initiative, Istorya, and Ron Sumbang, executive for the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Southern Nevada. They're both two of the many movers and shakers behind the Filipino Town project. And we talk about how they made it happen and why it's so important. Plus, of course, we're going to get some insider food recs. It's Thursday, February 19th. I'm Sonja Cho Swanson, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Filipinos are everywhere in Las Vegas. I mean, Filipinos are the largest group of AAPI folks in Las Vegas. So why this area? Because it is really centered around this area, Desert Inn, Maryland, kind of in that stretch of Maryland between GI and Flamingo, right?
Well, it goes back all the way quite a while.
Okay.
Actually, way before. There was an idea to create actually a Filipino center.
Okay.
So it was floated. Many organizations tried that, and it was difficult because when you create a center, that means you have to have a land, then you have to put up a structure. It will cost a lot. And then pre-COVID, there are certain individuals, including yours truly, sat down and we discussed about forwarding this idea. I am one of the board of directors for Filipino Town. So the executive VP is just one of, like Ava, we have
many titles.
Many titles. So I'm wearing my Filipino Town board of director hat right now.
Okay.
So eventually we kind of like, okay, if we could not put up a center, what is the alternative? The alternative is a cultural district, which already has a precedence having the Ethiopian cultural designation.
Right, that happened just a couple years before.
Yes. So after that, then we are fortunate enough that Commissioner Tick Sagerbloom, who covers that area, that's his district, became the chair. The idea was brought up, so we had that meeting. Everybody was accepting about that idea. But initially, what we wanted was from Sahara, Maryland, all the way to Tropicana, because in Sahara there's Goldilocks are there, and then there are a couple of other what do you call that, businesses.
So there's a sort of a concentration
Yes.
of
Yes.
Okay.
And I can explain more on it on the historical side.
Yeah, please, Ava, if you don't mind.
Yeah, the task also is very hard because what we did initially, the application is very voluminous, meaning one task after the other. First, we have to do a statistical survey. So if the statistics would not show that it is viable, then it would not go to step 2. So we have a statistician who helped us. So we have to go from one place to the other, knock on their doors, businesses and whatnot.
Really?
And yes, it was not easy.
So why are you trying to get the stats for? What are the stats going to tell you? Are you trying to see how many Filipinos actually live in this area?
Yes, the Clark County actually requires that because they don't want to alienate or make people feel that they're making a decision without their approval.
Oh, so you had to kind of go door to door and say, hey, how do you feel about a Filipino town in this area?
Correct.
And what were the results? Were people excited about it?
Oh, beautiful. Everybody loved it. So, but that's not done yet. After everything came favorable, now we have to send out mailers. Over 1,000. I think around between 1,200 to 1,400 mailers. So we have actually on record that they are okay with it. So 90% came back and it was again favorable.
Great.
Right? So the reason why we narrowed it down so the task will be a lot easier. Could you imagine if we have to do that Sahara to
Across,
Tropicana, then that's not
Yeah.
just 1,000,
I mean,
1,400, you know.
Vegas city blocks are enormous. It takes you like 10 minutes to walk from like Sahara to Charleston, right?
Exactly.
Like it's huge.
Exactly.
Our city blocks are enormous. Ava, tell us a little bit
Hmm.
about the history of this area. You mentioned that there's a historical kind of concentration here.
So I owe all the historical side to the Cariño side in my family. My grandfather, my late grandfather, Regilio Clarón Cariño, he was a historian in his own right. He was, for context, he was a pantry chef at Circus Circus
Oh,
from
wow.
1979, 1981 until 2004 when he
That is
retired.
old school. I love
So
it.
yeah,
Wow.
so he loved
First
history. He
wave.
instilled that in me, and he
Yeah.
kept various different pamphlets. I don't know if it was him just like growing up in World War II, immediately after Japanese occupation, just trying to like hold on to that history. I don't know if that was just him
Sure.
instilling it.
Hmm.
So I grew up with firsthand accounts of Filipinos in that area. For context, again, my family lived on Tropicana and Maryland, right where the Vons is, right where McCarran
Oh
Marketplace
yeah.
is.
Hmm.
Hacienda Eastern, that was my house for the longest time until
Hmm.
eminent domain came in 2003 and took our house away.
Hmm.
So my grandfather would tell me stories. I grew up all from Desert Inn to Tropicana, Filipino businesses, Filipino lawyers, Filipino restaurants. There was Nana Gloria, Pinoy Pinay, Kusini Lorraine, all of them. I grew
Mhm.
up with all of that. Goldilocks, Red Ribbon. To me, that made sense having Filipino Town in that stretch of block
KJ,
because
Hmm.
that
remember
was already
KJ?
I do.
It's
I
closed
remember
now though.
all of those restaurants. There used to be like right next to Pinoy Pinay was another like
Hmm.
Asian supermarket right next in that little plaza. While that's on Sahara and Eastern, it was still closer to Desert Inn. Like once you cross past Sunrise Hospital
Hmm.
and you crossed into Desert Inn and going down Maryland, I remember seeing all of the Filipino
Pinoy
businesses,
Pinay
Filipino
in
restaurants. Yes,
Sahara.
I grew up on that one every Sunday after church,
Amazing.
Pinoy Pinay. So it made sense to me. I was like, this is what we need. We need a Filipino town. And as I'm, tutoring my students and I have been taught by Dr. Mark Padumpat, Dr. Constancio
Hmm.
Renato, and Dr.
At
Tessa
UNLV.
Winkleman at UNLV. Yep.
Hmm.
They always instill to me. They're like, tell your story, make sure you keep firsthand accounts, whatever you want to do. And my students were saying, well, there's so many Filipinos, but why in East Las Vegas? East Las Vegas is what they designated as. And I would have to tell them the history behind it. There's an excerpt in the book The Peoples of Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
They write about the Filipinos, and this is circa about 2000, I want to say, when the first publication was. And they talk about how Filipinos were primarily in East Las Vegas, around what's known as the Arts District now. And even then, you'll see like influences of Filipinos in that area. Their
Mm.
Paradise Elementary was one of the first schools post 1965 to accept Filipino students into their classrooms.
Wow.
And that is
Wow.
right by UNLV. And my mother went to that school. And she
Hmm.
was one of the very few Filipinos. Same thing with Woodbury, same thing with Orr. There's so much more history behind it
Yeah.
that students aren't aware of because for the longest times we're relegated to buses, nurses, lawyers, chefs. We were meant to be seen behind the scenes, not in front of the camera.
Back of house, essentially.
Back of house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to you, it's like really about this moment of visibility. Because I do think we see so many Filipino people in kind of these background roles, as you said, not just in hospitality, but also like teachers' assistants and
Yes.
nursing caretakers, nursing homes. Like there's so many incredible people doing incredible work, but it's all behind the scenes. So this is really about visibility for you and your community in this moment.
Yes.
What about for you, Ron? Why is it important that you have a Filipino town here?
One, it's a home away from home.
Hmm.
It's an identity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what Ava said, we're always behind the scene, but at least we know that we have a home. We
Hmm.
know that we know who we are. We have an identity, you know, and not only that, it's also for people to see, understand, and be part of the Filipino culture. We want to go out there like the Japanese, the Chinese, now the Europeans, the Italians, the French, and all other, we're Filipinos. Hey, we're here too. Your little brothers and sisters.
Yes.
We want to share that. For so long a time, we've been behind the scene, and
Hmm.
it's really great that we are given this recognition, but
Mm-hmm.
primarily we have a home, we have an identity.
Mm-hmm. You're literally on the map now. You're literally on the map.
We're
Yes.
literally on the map, which
Yeah.
is so surreal to me because prior to 1941, Filipinos did not exist in Las Vegas. There is no record, currently, there is no record of Filipinos being in Las
Hmm.
Vegas from 1935 until 1965.
Hmm.
Filipinos, alongside African Americans, Latino, and indigenous members, helped build the Hoover Dam.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a few
Yes.
records of them. Yet they disappeared as soon as the Hoover Dam was done. That doesn't correlate to our histories here in Las Vegas.
So there's some missing history.
There is some missing history, yes.
Hmm. Step into the movies with the Neon Museum's new movie tour in the heart of Las Vegas. Take a guided walk through real neon backdrops that have actually appeared in some of Hollywood's most memorable scenes over the decades. Your tour starts in the iconic La Concha Motel lobby, which is now the Neon Museum's visitor center, and a key setting in Scorsese's film Casino. Stand where Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone filmed their romantic evening as Ace and Ginger, and then wander the world-famous neon boneyard surrounded by vintage marquees and historic signs. Plus, you'll connect neon landmarks to films like Casablanca, Superman, and The Joe Louis Story. Relive the comedy of Vegas Vacation as you walk among signs tied to Chevy Chase's classic. You'll hear insider stories and fun trivia that bring these movie moments to life and capture unforgettable photos. So join fellow cinephiles on a one-of-a-kind tour that turns the Neon Museum into your own movie set. Check out the Neon Museum's new movie tour and discover how Las Vegas earned its reputation as the entertainment capital of the world through film. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. I want to jump into Filipino Town. Give us the tour. I want your personal recommendations. What businesses do you personally find yourself visiting the most in Filipino Town? Where are we going? What are we ordering? What should I go to the menu and be like, I got to order this? Ron, give us your recs.
How much of a sweet tooth do you have?
I have a stomach of iron, y'all. Feed me everything.
Oh, you're better than me. You're better than me.
Okay, but I will say the heat, the spice level, I mean, I'm probably more of a medium.
That's a different story.
Yeah. When it comes, I will eat organ meats. I will eat random root vegetables, everything.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Ron, okay, where are we going? What are we eating?
For crispy pata, let's go to
Okay.
Goldilocks.
Okay, what is crispy pata?
Crispy pata is pork knuckles, right?
Ooh,
Fried.
I love it.
Uh-huh. But the reason why I like this version is because you can eat more of the meat and the skin. Because when you fry it, it's so hard. You have to gnaw on it,
Right? Yeah.
But this one, it's falling off the bones.
Oh,
So it's really,
tender.
really nice. Tender. Yes. Tender, crispy. Yep. So I was surprised. I'm like, oh wow, I haven't seen this version. So I like that. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay, Ava, why don't you jump in with a rec and then we'll jump back to you, Ron. What's one of your recommendations in Filipino Town?
I would have to say go to, okay, I am very more adventurous with my food. So I would say go to Kusina, that is in Filipino Town, and go get the dinuguan. Dinuguan is chopped up pork, simmered and stewed in pork blood. It sounds not as appetizing, but I promise you it is absolutely delicious with a side of rice and you mix it in. That is
Love
my
it.
favorite dinuguan. It is
Dinuguan.
both. Yes, it
Okay.
is. It is a bit more on the chewy side, depending on which cut of pork that they're using. Primarily, my grandfather liked more of a softer side, so I would say that they used like the pork jowl and things like that. But definitely get it hot, get it with a side of rice, get yourself some calimansi lemonade if they have it, and there you go. You got a full meal for about $15.
And we're going to where again? Kusina, you said?
Kusina, yes.
Kusina with a K. Got it.
Yes, Kusina.
All right, back to you, Ron. Do you have one more recommendation for Filipino Town? I see your grin. It looks like a yes.
Yeah, I love Kusina too. I love their papaitan. Every time I go there, I have to have one.
What is papaitan?
Papaitan is more of an Ilocano dish. It's like dinuguan too. The ingredients is a little bit, not conventional. So you have the bile from the animal. So that's what you use to make it bitter,
Oh,
bitter
okay.
and very vinegary.
Interesting.
And then you have different types of meat, mostly internal meats. So you have liver, you have toallia, the towel. I don't know what you
Yeah.
call that in English.
Huh.
Tripe. It's
I wonder if
actually
it's
tripe. I
tripe.
think it's
Yes,
tripe.
tripe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
gonna
yes,
say
yes,
that.
Yep.
Yeah, we have that in Korean
hmm
cuisine too.
yes.
Yeah,
Regardless of whatever dish you get, we're a very saucy community.
nice.
Yes.
Bring on the
But then
sauces. I love it. Any other businesses you want to shout out? It doesn't have to be a food business, but any other kind of local businesses you want to shout out in Filipino Town?
Max's is always really good to go.
Max's.
Primarily, yeah, that's a really good one. Valero's Bake Shop. They've been there, I want to say since the 2000s, if not earlier than that. That was just a home bakery for me and my family to get
Mm.
just Filipino sweets. And my grandfather would always buy. It's called Insemyada. It is literally either kind of like a baguette style, or they have like little like cinnamon roll styles, but it's a whole bunch of sugar on the top, almost
Yes.
like a brulee. And they have where it's called idam cheese or queso de boya, and that is topped inside the ensaymada. I would come home with like
ooh,
little baguettes of
I want
it,
to eat.
and
I
I
know.
know
Ron
it's
and I are
so
like
good.
drooling right now.
And my grandmother, I would hear her from the background. Don't give the kids diabetes. They're gonna go get diabetes. And my
Diabetes.
grandmother is saying like a whole bunch of other words that's not allowed on radio, and saying, let the kids be kids. So I have
And
a really
when they
big
eat,
sweet
they eat
tooth.
like, I'm old already, so don't mind
I'm
me. I
old
will eat my
already!
sweet.
Sige mo yan! Ay, sus, Mario, sim! So, we'll get B2B2, which is a powdered, like, donut. We'll
Uh-huh.
get Toron, which is kind of like, it looks like a
Oh,
thicker version of lumpia, but it's made
love
with either
turon.
jackfruit or
Oh,
banana.
Yeah.
Yep.
yes.
It's like
Comfort
that
food.
Yep.
crispy, yes, and you
Exactly.
drizzle it with like that caramel sauce.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. So I
Yep.
grew up with
Mhm.
a really, really big sweet tooth, which right now I'm regretting because
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
in my
right?
mid-20s and I can't eat as much sweets anymore. But I have a whole bunch of like different recommendations off of Filipino Town that should also
Mhm.
be recommended as well. We have the Pinoy joint off of Jones. Their bangos or milkfish is absolutely delicious. They
Oh,
make
that's
it
right,
from the beef.
Milkfish. They just got
Yes.
a
Mhm.
nomination from the James Beard
They
Awards.
did.
Yeah.
Milkfish Bake Shop. That is their own different business. Milkfish is a dish. But
Oh.
absolutely, Milkfish Bake Shop, they're absolutely wonderful people.
Oh,
I
okay.
absolutely love their foods. And I think they're popping up at Durango Social Club
Okay.
the first week of March, which also ties in with if you're available on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings.
Yes.
Istorya is also popping up at Durango Social Club there.
Love it.
And then the last week of February, if you're tuning in, February 24th is our closeout to our Galleon chapter. That is where we sail off from Spain and focus more on the Mexican influence on Filipino food through the Manila Acapulco Galleon trade. And that
Oh,
is
wow.
on February 24th. And we have a 5 p.m. and an 8 p.m. seating.
Amazing. And that's something really cool that Istorya does is they really focus on historical periods in Filipino food history. Like every single dinner series is a different historical period of
Yes.
Filipino culinary history.
Yes, and actually, that is what I'm going to school for. I am learning how to be a culinary historian. That is what
Oh,
I will be
cool.
getting my doctorate in. Will be PhD in history with a focus on
Hey.
culinary history, but I focus primarily on
Wow.
the American colonial period. So I'm very,
Amazing.
very excited about what Istorya does. I actually did it a lot on campus, where I created events called A Taste of UNLV and A Taste of History, where I combine storytelling, history, and food to introduce students to different cuisines around the globe. And
I
that
love
was
it.
one way I can get them engaged without them having to sit through a lecture.
Amazing. Ron, I'm going to come back to you because we are coming up on a year of Filipino Town in April. So,
hmm
what can we expect from the parade and the celebration on April 11th?
Oh my God, there's a lot to expect. One of the things that we are actually trying to promote is Flores de Abril. Normally it's Flores de Mayo, but it's gonna be
Huh.
Flores de Abril, where we will showcase the different queens with
Oh.
their beautiful gowns, and then we have an arch competition, and the first place will win $2,000 for
Wow.
for that one. And each arch will have their queen. We will have a procession within that area.
Mhm.
And besides that, we're also going to be doing a parade that's going to be in the afternoon. In the morning, we're going to have a parade of the different organizations. So of course we have to show unity. We're going to
Mhm.
showcase, hey, these are the different Filipino organizations, and then we were able to get Bishop Gorman marching band, so they're going to be part
Oh,
of it.
cool.
Yeah, and all
I
throughout the
love it.
day, we have different entertainers, local entertainers. We're actually showcasing our different local entertainers, how talented they are. So this is their opportunity to show themselves. Hey, you know what? I could sing higher note than Mariah Carey, or
Oh, let's be real.
other.
Filipinos are singers. Filipinos
Oh
in
yeah, don't give
karaoke.
us a mic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we also have vendors. We have vendors. We have 43 regular vendors, and then we have 10 food vendors, and we have 4 food trucks. So if anybody is out there listening, hey, contact Filipino Town Las Vegas, and on our website we have all those links where you could, if you're interested, you could put in your information, and we will get back to you. We'll work with you. So there's a lot that
Amazing.
people will attending will understand, not just being part of. And this is open not only for Filipinos, of course. We're encouraging other folks to visit, see us, see what Filipino can do, see what Filipino can contribute, and what you can learn from the Filipino culture. So yeah, please join us, support us, and let's have fun.
I'm glad you mentioned inviting people from all over Las Vegas, whether they're Filipino or not, to come to the celebration. I kind of wonder, do you ever feel like there's a little bit of a tension, when you make Filipino culture accessible to non-Filipinos? Are you kind of watering it down? Are you making it less authentic? Are you sort of, is there a tension between preserving authenticity and kind of opening up Filipino culture to non-Filipinos?
Ava, you want to answer that first? Ladies first, or
Yeah,
you want me to answer?
I can answer it first, and I will have I would say hot take.
Ooh,
I would
okay.
say I'm kind of simmering the pot here. With Before I joined Astoria, you had to, at least the way I navigated it, was view Filipinos and view Filipino culture through a sanitized lens.
Huh.
You don't talk about colonial mentality. You don't talk about what happens behind closed doors. You don't talk about the overseas workers. You don't talk about the amount of labor that we do in exchange of. We have this thing called utang na loob, which is
Loob.
basically just thank you,
We owe
kuya.
you. Mm.
Yeah, we owe you, which is basically,
We owe
I do
you.
something for you, you do something for me. And that was ingrained in my generation of Filipino Americans.
Hmm.
We were the first ones born in America. We were the ones capitalizing on we're the American dream. If we don't push ourselves, we don't strive for the best, we're letting down our families. That's the sanitized route of it. For
Okay.
Filipino food, I couldn't introduce balot, dinogawan, gisi-gisi.
Yes.
I couldn't introduce those foods to my friends, to my white side of the family, because I'm half white, half Filipino,
Hmm.
because they would literally throw it away. Oh, it's too fragrant. Oh, it's too much. It's too authentic. That's what I heard growing up. It's too authentic. And after I joined Astoria, in my early 20s, mid 20s, I finally said, oh my goodness, there's a place for me to be here, to be heard. I can show authentic food. I can showcase our storytelling. I can showcase the history.
Mm-hmm.
Filipino Town in itself is a contributions of decades of work from different generations. Right now, me and Kuya, we're 2 different generations, but we all understand the same story. We're here. We were meant to be in Las Vegas. We are meant to be the ones who feed you, the ones who heal you, the ones who talk to you, the ones who teach you. We're always will be here. And through Albert's Istorya, and especially with the direct efforts of UNLV, CSN, and other schools that are now incorporating more Asian American studies, our voices alongside a multitude of other communities can finally be heard. And that is the beauty of everything behind it.
Mm. And so, Ava, for you, this means like not watering down what you
No.
talked about, like the blood porridge or like
Yes.
the pig's foot or the tripe. It means not giving people necessarily the easy sanitized version, but
Exactly.
introducing them to the full vibrancy and richness of all that Filipino culture has to offer.
Exactly. Like, we get to learn about Tagalogs, we get to learn about Ilocanos, Kampampangans. We get to learn about the ethnic linguistic groups in Mindanao, such as the Tasug and the Yakan. We get to learn about Bicolanos. We get to learn about so many different identities.
Ron, I see you smiling with so much like joy and love on your face. How does it make you feel to see someone in Ava's generation talk about Filipino culture this way in Las Vegas?
I'm so happy, actually. I love it. Eva, keep that fire in you. Okay, never let that dim, please, because you will be one of those torch when we were gone. You'll be the one who's going to be guiding the new generation. So keep that lit all the time. Okay, and Historia in English is actually story. So Ava is actually telling her journey through the story. Okay, now on my perspective, it's just stigma. I brush it off. You know, all these things that they say, again, life is 90% perspective, 10% reaction. We should not be dictated by those stigmas. At the end of the day, I am a human being. You guys are a human being. I bleed like you bleed. I work like you work. Why can't we all be together? It would be a much wonderful community. It will be a much wonderful world if we are all working together. Nothing like you are this, you are that. Hey, you know what? Let's just be wonderful human beings. Let's just be wonderful, loving individuals.
Ron, Ava, thank you so much for your time here. I hope that our listeners are convinced to go try crispy pata and all those amazing foods you talked about. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on April 11th for the Filipino Town one-year celebration.
All right, see you guys. Mabuhay! Mabuhay!
Maraming salamat.
Bye-bye. And that's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, go tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. Don't forget you can support this show and get some great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.